So that was a good thing. So the first swing was excellent. So then you noticed it went left, and then you saved it right.
Yeah.
The next one. So big lesson is never. You don't control the direction of the ball by controlling the club face. We'll work on your swing dynamics and get the ball going a little straighter. But the club face is not for. You don't want to think of it. Yes, obviously the direction the club face hits the ball influences the direction of the shot, but the club face is for power. It's the primary fulcrum that is for repeatability of how that club face lines up. So you're going to get the accuracy when the body becomes passive, and the swing is going to work out when you're really animating the club head.
I'm not getting that.
Animate the club head. Animate the club head and whack the ball. And don't even worry about direction. Your job always in learning golf is to pursue a fundamental pursuit of distance. A fundamental pursuit of distance will always lead to an accurate shot. Not always lead to an accurate shot, but it'll lead to a more accurate shot. Yes, there you go. So you're aiming your club head better, and that just adjusted your swing path, even on your practice swings. This is why I'm always getting golfers to pay less attention to the golf ball. Paying more attention to the feeling of impact is not a terrible clue, but what you're doing with the club is always the answer. Like that, Chris. Good. Good. Here come more like that. That was a good rep. And then my other piece of advice is that I learned in my time competing is I never tell myself a story in the first. I would say for me it was 20 swings. I don't let myself say any no. I have no analysis of the first 20 swings. I'm watching you, and it won't take us 20 swings to get into any lessons, but that's just more of a personal thing. Because you wanna assess patterns, not the first two shots. Nothing's established yet. Nice job, Chris. There you go. And just like that, that's a way better shot, and all you're doing, you didn't try to fix anything. You see what I mean? You just try to animate the club head, hit the ball nice and hard, let yourself acclimate, and see there's your 150-yard shot that I was telling you about, except that one went a little straighter by animating the club head better. So, moral of the story here is you're never fixing, you never fix, you never adjust, never let what you're seeing out there pull you.
Okay.
You always go back to the swing. But that was good.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, it was 15 feet left of the pin, but
Yeah.
we can make that putt.
That'll still be a 3-putt.
No, we'll work on your putting a little later
That's
then.
kidding. Well, no, I'm not kidding. That really would be a 3-putt.
Well, we'll have to.
It depends
talk
on where
about
the
that.
pin is and what position they put it in. I was practicing.
I was practicing. Exactly. Exactly. It'll go. It takes about 4 seconds. That's all right. It's all right. So okay, let's switch places.
Okay.
I
got one in.
No, it's good. You're gonna get a lot more. So So we're still going to be deeply involved in fundamental number one, clubhead leading.
Yeah.
But we're gonna.
I'll be straight honest. I'm not thinking about those steps I was supposed to be taking.
What's that?
The back and set, whatever.
No steps. No,
well, I was supposed to cue myself. There were some cues I was supposed.
The thoughts.
Yeah, the thought cues, but I'm not doing them.
Right. So I can see what's going on in your mind, and we'll unpack that a little bit, and we're going to work a little bit on how you approach the ball. That's going to give you time and process to capture these thoughts and start to be more consistent. So, almost every golfer, basically every golfer, until they learn otherwise. I guess for me, I just watched enough professional golf as a young kid that I kind of figured this out. Maybe I learned it somewhere too, though. I might have learned it. So most people, what they do is they place their feet down where it's comfortable.
Yeah.
And because their attention's on the ball, they'll get progressively closer and closer to this thing. Then they put their club down, and then they look at the target, and then they have kind of like an oh crap moment. I don't know if this is where I'm supposed to be.
That makes sense.
Okay?
Okay.
We want to flip the process.
Okay.
So, and this is true for every shot. Putting, chipping, anything. There's no shot that I don't do this on, or wouldn't advise any golfer to do this on. Your visual system is really actually pretty good at aiming. Problem is we don't use it. And the body's always designed to react to the club. So, if we approach the ball, we get to the side, I decide, okay, I want to aim at this bush. Draw the line back through the ball, and then I put the club down. Then the club is in position. Now I stand to the club, and we can get a consistent approach to the ball. As you're doing this, a couple things that we're gonna have to unpack are what the golf posture is supposed to be and supposed to look like. Okay, so I can see a couple things that you've learned. Straight left arms. You've heard that one before. Or straight arms, right? Yeah. Also, posture, tilt, flat back, all this stuff. Okay? Well, we'll unpack that as much as we need to, but just remember, tension is the enemy.
Yeah.
Okay, so as the club swings, you're putting a mass in motion. So even if you were to start with bent elbows, as you swing the club away and the club sets, your left arm is going to straighten somewhat. Both arms are never straight through the golf swing. You couldn't play golf this way.
Yeah.
So the right arm's going to bend. They're both going to extend a little bit towards the ball because now the mass is pulling them this way. The club head's going to swing through. The left arm's then going to bend. The right arm's going to get a little straighter, and eventually they're always bent. Is that a procedure? Are you keeping track of that through space and time? That'd be impossible. That'd be impossible. So all your job is to do is you gotta swing the arms.
Okay.
You know, so if how fast could you swing the arms if they were straight, or how fast can you swing the arms if they're bent?
Yeah, bent.
It's that obvious. Because we already learned that the power comes from the swing, and the arms are the only thing on our upper body that have the potential to do that. So then look at the posture. Golf, as I say frequently, is a game best played standing. The role of the posture is quite simply just to keep you upright and standing while golfing. There's no magic posture, magic angles, okay? It's going to change slightly for everybody depending on how their body's constructed, depending on what clubs they're playing, the angle of the clubs. What we want is just simply to follow the concept that tension is the enemy. So if our back is straight like this, I was advised that at one point. You know, they're like, Miles, you know, you got to keep your chin up.
Yeah. I remember
This
all
and
that.
you know, all this stuff. And I'm like, I was playing in tournaments, you know, and fortunately, I just was able to say, this is not right. I'm not going to listen to what this guy's saying. You know, I can't play golf this way, you know.
Yeah.
But you can't play golf that way. It's really, it's really, really hard. So all we're doing is, if we were holding the club and hanging the club,
Uh-huh.
just totally normal to standing, right? Nothing crazy. Club would hit the ground. So if I lower the club to the ground, now I'm in what you would call golf posture. The posture is just simply created because that's the length of the club and the angle of the club. It just takes you a little bit of bend, but not significant. So as I'm going through the setup again, it's I call it eyes, face, feet, the club face. Eyes, face, feet. So I'm always going eyes. I set the face down, kind of hands under the mouth, arms in front of me, and then just a simple left foot, right foot. And then I'm just basically standing there as grounded and relaxed as I can be. I'm not going to split hairs over my posture. My whole goal of the posture is to be relaxed, because when I'm relaxed, I can move. Relaxed is responsive, relaxed is movement, relaxed is freedom, and ultimately that's going to create a lot more power and repeatability. Because we want to be in a situation where the body is contributing nothing to the swing is contributing everything to the body. So should we get a result that we don't like, all we have to do is figure out how we need to move the golf club.
Okay.
So we can get a little deeper into that, but for now, I just want you to run. You don't even have to hit balls right now. Run that whole eyes, face, feet situation a couple times, and see what you can figure out there. We want to let go of the tension in the arms. There's no need for straight arms. There's no need for a flat back. There's no need for anything in particular. We've seen a lot of golfers over the years play great golf with a hunchback, great golf, the little bit more upright posture. Some golfers are more bent over. There's no evidence that any of that is fundamental. But we've not seen many good golfers, very few that look utterly tense in their setup. I can think of a couple. There's a couple of outliers there, but way less. So now when you're doing the eyes, face, feet, the right hand would be in the middle of the club because the left hand's on top. So you would approach it there. So yeah, there you go. Good. Yeah, and then you're just going to stand there comfortable. Stand there comfortable. Let the gas out of the elbows. Just let the gas out. There you go. See, there, if I took a picture of you, it'd still look like you got pretty straight arms. But the feeling you have in your body is a lot different. That looks nice, Chris. That's way better. It's way better. Step to the side, make a couple practice swings. Just like that. And just feel what it feels like to swing the club from this relaxed position. Now all your job is to make a double pendulum moving the club head first. There he is. Nice, dude. That's very good. What's that?
I want to get the direction towards the pin.
Yeah, wherever you're aiming.
Yeah.
And then the club face just goes perpendicular to that.
But then my hand's first, right?
What do you mean?
Like once I see it and I get the club face, do I line the club there? Then I get my position.
I usually grip it as I'm placing my feet. I'm not really thinking about when I grip it. It's just eyes, face, and then get the feet set. There you go. Nice and relaxed. Mind in the club now. There you go. Awesome. That was sweet. That was good. That was a good swing. Nice hit, dude. That's awesome. Shot. Good shot. Okay. That was excellent. So, as you're doing this, you can keep running this. You're doing great. In kind of as I'm teaching this right now, reflect on how the whole affect of those shots felt different. Your whole vibe just changed. But so pretend, in golf, right? It's a shooting game. So we're always on offense. So we never want to send a message of retreat in golf. So and we don't want to be. We want to kind of rely on the visual system and our instincts to do what it's good at. So we don't need you don't need any tricks to aim it like this. Oh. And that's bringing you too close to the ball.
Okay.
What I'm going to do is as I walk, I'm going to walk in a little wider typically. Mm-hmm. And this way I capture the visual from the side again. Mm-hmm. And this way as I'm always making sure I'm stepping into the shot. Oh. If we kind of get up in here and do the eye space feet, mm-hmm. Now I'm going to have to back up a little bit.
I see.
You see what I mean? And that doesn't send a confident message to the nervous system. So,
So being behind the ball, looking towards your target is not necessary?
Well, I always start from behind the ball, because again, that's like approaching it. So I'm starting from behind, but then as I come into the ball, I'm stepping a little bit to the side so that I can get in towards the shot. Okay. And so just add that to your protocol here and see how that feels. Very good. Now eyes. Work with the eyes, face. Very good. Nice and relaxed. And then mind in the club head. Mm-hmm. Good.
I felt it open.
Yep.
I felt it.
That's okay. But it's good that you felt it. So you didn't even need to see where the ball went to know what happened with the shot. Yeah. So that's good. That's getting you away from the third source of news into the second. Ooh. Good job, Chris. Good job. Excellent. Nice, man. Okay. We can golf these balls. These are golfable.
Yeah.
Very golfable. Very good. Very good. You know, this simple thing that we're working on is going to help your putting. You know, you're going to take more time. You're going to see the putts clearer. You're going to be in a calmer state of mind. You're going to be able to control the speed better. Now you got time baked into your whole process to think about what you want to do in the swing. Now you're confident where you're aimed. Your tone has changed. Your affect has changed. So all this is really good. There he is. Looking like a golfer, dude. Freaking awesome. Okay.
In there.
Mm-hmm. Hit one more.
Yeah.
Then
So the one before that was a little more relaxed. The last one was relaxed, but something sped up or
change.
tensed up a little bit
Okay.
before impact. I
Okay.
felt it,
Awesome.
and I can't pinpoint what I did, but something happened subconsciously.
Exactly.
It was a good strike, but it was off a little bit because just the way it felt, the whole.
Exactly.
A strike should feel like effortless.
Absolutely.
There's no kick, no reverberation, nothing.
Correct.
Right? Yeah, I'm saying that.
I know. You're saying it. Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying. That's totally true. Yeah. So that's what we're gonna work on next is to figure out, because you said it right. It's subconscious. So we got to pull out whatever idea it is that's causing that. Good job.
I'm getting there, but I'm being consistently a little under 30 yards away.
What do you mean?
I'm being consistent
30 yards away from what?
from the pin.
Oh, there's no pin here.
Oh,
You're
it's
just,
not?
No, you're just hitting into a field.
I thought there was a,
No, this is just a driving range.
oh, it's right. Okay.
This
I
is
thought
driving
there was
range.
a pin
No,
right
we're
there.
not even. I don't even have your distance displayed
Oh, gotcha.
right now.
I was thinking.
Yeah, no. You're just. Yeah, we're just hitting
Oh,
into a field
okay,
right
gotcha,
now.
okay.
We're not. Yeah, there's nothing.
I remember before there was a pin, but I didn't realize.
I want a different range
Okay.
today. I'm just experimenting
Oh, gotcha.
with the visual.
So what is my
You can aim. I would aim just kind of straight ahead.
straight?
Yeah, I mean you're hitting these pretty nice. All these are finding the green.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not the two that went off to the right, but
Right.
all the other ones are good. Good job, Chris. Okay. Oh, I see the pin there.
Yeah.
I see it. Yeah, but you can't.
Right.
It's really hard to see it from here. So yeah, that's just a random pin. Okay, good. Really good.
Ah.
So I want you to show me. Just hold the club
Uh-huh.
and go in slow motion and show me what the club should look like through the hitting zone. to you.
With both arms or one?
It does, yeah, both arms. I kind of try to make. I didn't want to reveal what I was going to do.
Oh, I
So
got you.
You know what I mean?
So you just want to see the.
What do you think it's supposed to look like? With how the club moves through the hitting zone as it approaches the ball. So don't hit a shot.
Just do.
Don't hit a shot. Just
do it all in slow motion.
yeah, like just basically show me what's supposed to look like down here.
Okay.
No ball. Just
Yeah.
kind of yeah.
So do each.
Just kind
Kinda
of
slow
move,
motion?
yeah, just move the club back and forth below your hips. There you go.
Feels. Slower.
Go real slow, like molasses. Okay. Good. Good.
I still feel like I'm doing this.
Yeah, you feel that?
Yeah, I'm doing that. Something's. I don't know what's making me do that. Am I? Something's
So
holding me up. I don't.
So
It's
let's-
not. I don't feel it low.
correct. Yeah,
Relax.
you nailed it.
Something's making me do that.
Correct.
But here's the thing. I've never used to do that. It's weird. Which is fine, I guess.
Well, so see if you can recall to something you might have heard in your time at Golf Tech.
Let me think. Golf, it was.
So did they ever teach straight arm extension through the ball?
I would think so. Yes.
I think they do
Yeah.
tend to teach that over there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where it comes from. So check it out. So this is why macro concept number 3, golf swing, is a dynamic swing. So every moment that you could take a picture in the golf swing, which I don't recommend you do, but any moment that you could is caused by the moments that happened before it. The club didn't just end up there.
Right.
So if you're trying to have straight arm extension here, when are you going to start to extend your arms? Before there. Well, what's before there? Impact. So if you had to get your arms straight to here, what would you do? You would straighten them into impact. You see what I mean? But now, and they usually tell you that because they'll show you a picture of a golfer with their arms a little wider. But remember, the mass has got speed. It's pulling your arms this way. You're not straightening your arms. The mass, as it releases, is extending your arms. On a chip shot, where you don't have a lot of speed, your arms would be a lot more bent. On a driver, where you're flinging it, your arms are naturally going to straighten a lot more. You're never actually straightening them. The other reason that they'll tell you to do that is usually because they're trying to get you to buy into this idea that having a wider radius, more width in your swing creates more power.
Right.
Okay? You remember that? Exactly. Okay, so let's look at what is actually occurring in physics. Okay? If I was to make a loop with this golf club, and so let's pretend the outer circle is the outer circle is the club head, and the inner circle here is our arms in this case. If I do a wider outer circle, look how much energy I have to do to make that go fast.
Yeah.
What happens when I make a narrow inner circle? See, I'm not doing anything, and that thing's whipping around. It's the smaller we can actually keep the inner loop
Okay.
relative to the outer loop, the more
I see.
whip the club head has. That's the real physics. See, they're talking about everything through the lens of biomechanics, but that's applying. It's the wrong science applied. We want to be in the science of objects in motion. So all you got to do is just be along for the ride here.
Okay.
This is my basic golf swing.
Okay.
It's just a relaxed kind of double pendulum. And then as I go and make a bigger swing with that, so the arms naturally get animated away from my body a little more as the club head moved me there.
Okay.
But if I wasn't teaching golf, like I wouldn't even be aware of these things. You know, just as I'm golfing, I could care less how extended my arms got at any given point. You know, naturally, if I were to hit a little pitch shot, they'd be here. And if I'm trying to cook one, you can see where they went to. They got a little straighter, but they're not locked. Never locked. A locked joint at that speed would be a recipe for injury as well.
Oh. Good.
You see what I mean? So yeah. There you go. See how chill that is in the elbows? Chill in the elbows. And then think about stick games, okay? You got a batter in the back. You ever see a power hitter with straight arms? No, they're here. Or wherever. You know, they're all bent. Billiards player. Never. Here. Tennis player. About to hit a serve. No power. You know, bent.
Okay.
You know, so soft. You know, what they'll do is they'll find the one golfer that got their arms the straightest post impact, which they're not trying to do that usually, and then they take the picture and they say, "Here, this is what you're supposed to do."
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's all coming back. I remember that.
Yep. So now just go there and make some more practice swings. Integrating. You're exploring this concept. You don't know what to expect now. Now you're just like, okay, I get it. I don't need any extension. I don't need to straighten my arms. I want to keep my elbows as soft as I can, and then really move this club head with speed. There you go. That's your power. It's how fast you can move the club head. Nothing else really matters.
I feel like sometimes I'm trying to determine the pressure on my grip and the hand position. Does it really matter?
Well, in the grip, I think we talked about it a little
the
bit.
V point here and all that mess, or does that even matter? Somewhat.
So the main thing that matters is
I just remember always having to turn the hand over it, and this one going over it like that. Is that?
No, that's not good.
That's what I was taught.
Okay. So the principle, there's a couple. One, the point of the grip is to create leverage on the club.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to be in a position to move the club. So we got to get it out of the palm and have the most massive part of the hand on top of the club, and that's going to allow you to move it.
Okay.
But notice there's not a lot of twisting in the arm. It's just kind of hanging like it would hang. Okay, and then the principle of the hands is the hands work together doing opposite things. So you want to have just a general feeling that your palms are facing each other. So the right hand comes on the club in a way that feels like it just matches the left hand, wherever that is. You can interlock, you can overlap, you can 10-finger grip it. That doesn't matter. That's whatever's comfortable to you is what you should do. In the fingers, yeah, get it out of the palm. The palm, you're not going to have. The club's going to feel heavier in your palm, and you'll be able to swing with less speed. And then you just feel like your hands are oppositely working together. There you go. And that's you just swinging the club. And you can golf, great golf, just doing that. Notice how your feet got quieter, your body got quieter. Why? The 100-sum principle. The more you animate the club, the less your body realizes it has to work. The less your body works, the straighter you'll hit it, and the faster the club will travel, and the longer you'll hit it. Like that. Like that. Like that. Yeah, my man. Come on. That's good. Release that golf club right from the top. There you go. Get to the top, release the club. Yes. Yes, my man. Very good, dude. Very good. And you see the path of the club, you can kind of see the motion where it's not going left anymore. It's going...
The other one was
a little, but not too much.
I can see it.
You can see it, but also remember the swing is on an arc, right? So the motion blur is never going to be perfectly straight. It's always going to come from the inside, hit the ball, and go around to the left. It has to go around to the left eventually.
gotta relax my arm.
You gotta relax your arms is one of the main morals of the story. So if we could sum up the whole lesson so far today as eyes, face, feet, intention is the enemy. You gotta have relaxed arms. Yes. Now that is welcome to golf, dude. It's a leisure game. It's a leisure game. This is no sport. I mean, there should be a poster that says golf, athleticism not required. Hell yeah, dude. That's great. That's great. And that feels better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. Getting the clubs making nice contact with the mat. You're getting all those external benefits.
Huh. What do we do now?
Hit a couple.
Okay. I know where it went.
That's all right. Give it. I always say give it 8 swings
Good.
after you make a change. 8 is the number of transformation.
Yeah, I hear a lot of, you probably hear this all the time. A lot of people care attention in their shoulders and traps.
Oh yeah.
I gotta start being a little bit more mindful of that.
That's
Oh.
kind of exactly.
I will say after what we did the other day,
Mm-hmm.
I was feeling stuff in my, I was feeling it.
Oh, in the gym?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right.
Even
I
though
felt-
we didn't go yesterday or today, it's
Right.
doing on Monday, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I was feeling it all in here this morning.
Exactly. Yeah, me too. It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we'll keep getting better as we practice rolling stuff. Good job, dude. Really good, man. Heck yeah.
So I do this a lot. I'm sure you've noticed this.
Mm-hmm.
I always shift like this. I know why.
Yeah, tell me.
So at Golf Tech,
Exactly.
they would always tell me they kept telling me to shift my shoulder or something.
Right.
I don't know why. And I'm not doing as much as I used to, but I'm just still doing a little bit.
Exactly.
And I'm not sure, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's some kind of squareness or something. Or,
Yeah. So,
I
you
don't
know,
why, and it's just once I address it, I always do. I keep doing that, and
right.
that's I'm creating tension.
Correct. Because, okay. So
It's setting the motion.
tension is the enemy. So this is true for literally everything. Outside of golf, inside of golf. Anytime you think you're doing something wrong, there's something you need to fix. Because if you notice, I never use that language in a lesson. I never say, Chris, fix this.
Right.
I don't say that with any of my students.
That's pretty much all they were talking about.
They're always trying to fix you.
Fix that, fix that.
Fix.
that.
I don't know. I'm not in the business of fixing people. I'm in the business of teaching people about golf.
Right.
So, if it's always fix this, fix that, fix this, and this kind of goes into even into the construction business, right? You don't want to sell people on all the problems they got in their house. You want to sell people on how great an experience they're going to have after you're done. So that creates tension right there.
Yeah.
And then you're making adjustments. And so making adjustments is not what we want to do. Marius and I love watching billiards players. And when they set up, they sit right where they want to be, and they don't ever need to adjust.
Yeah.
And the same thing with eyes, face, feet. We're claiming the target.
Yep.
We're putting the club
very
exactly
last
where we
thing
want to go.
I adjust at the very last.
It's okay. You can make micro adjustments a little bit and not totally throw yourself out of whack. But in general, you don't want to adjust. And so they really want to analyze the posture. Okay. So, they're going to talk to you about lots of things. And I'll just kind of go through all of that just to clear your mind of all these things as best we can. So they're going to teach you about shoulder tilt.
Yep.
Okay. They're going to teach you about hip square and this square and all this. Okay. So shoulder tilt. Okay. Should a golfer ever really think
That's
about?
I remember. That's what it was.
Shoulder tilt.
It was.
Tilting.
Yeah, I remember that.
Exactly. Okay. Should you ever think about shoulder tilt? No. Or is it possible to set up to a golf shot without shoulder tilt? Kind of not really. Why? Your hands are not level on the club.
Right.
Your right hand is lower than your left hand. So look at my shoulders. They're slightly tilted.
Yeah.
On a driver, I'm going to drop my right foot back with a different looking club, so I'm going to have a little more tilt. It's all, remember, the club-centric approach that we're going through always works.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's the foundation, because the tilt is simply created by the way golf is, with the way you hold the club and the way the club is. The club has offset, it's angled a little bit. So if the club's angled this way, look what happens. You're going to counter it this way a little bit. Look how the club is designed.
Right.
It's designed a little forward with the shaft, and your right hand's lower than your left hand. So if you were to just feel like you're standing 50-50, you would end up being a little tilted. And that's perfect. And that's totally perfect. That's all it ever needed to be. Now, when you're approaching the ball and you want to be basically square. I mean, there are good golfers that are not perfectly square also. A little closed, a little open. So that's not even fundamental. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you tend to set a little open, maybe you play a great little fade. If you set a little closed, maybe you hit a great little draw.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen golfers shoot 62 doing all the above.
Okay.
So that's not what's going to move the needle on your golf game. Now, if you're all pretzeled, you're not comfortable either. Your tension is the enemy. So if all you're trying to do is stay balanced, 50-50, and relaxed, chances are you're going to end up being as square as you would ever need to be. When we get into fixing, you're adjusting. And then I steal this from Bruce, who does all the Qigong. He always is talking about Goldilocks and the Three Bears. When you're fixing, then the par is never right. You don't want to adjust, because then it's going to be like, I like my parts a little warmer today. I like it a little colder today.
Mm-hmm.
So it's best just to be informed by the target, and then be informed by the club, and then be informed by the tension. And as long as you're good with those things, then you're probably good. And then I learned this from a guy I took some guitar lessons from. He would always tell me, with my guitar tuning, he would always say, close enough for rock and roll. You don't have to be perfect. So Soften those arms. Soften them. There you go. Very good. Now swing the club. Excellent. 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 You know, and this is going to change. That was right by the pin.
Yeah.
So this is going to change your whole vibe on the golf course too. It's going to change your emotions. It's going to change your thoughts. You know, and it's going to give you time to process these things. So you're doing great, man. You're adapting this like unbelievably well, actually. Like unbelievably well. You're the whole freaking thing, just like wow. I mean, so you've got no problem picking up what I'm putting down.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great. And just by doing this stuff though, it's actually, see how this is actually relating, the rhythm's naturally better.
Yeah.
The timing's naturally better. You know, you're able to actually animate the club head better. So all those old ideas were blocking you. And that's why I'm always deconstructing golfer swings, because the fundamental number one is so powerful, club head leading. It's not complicated. The only thing that stops people from doing that is this stuff. All the old ideas that they've learned that are now the mind is wrestling. It's like, well, okay, we want to do this, but then what about all these things? And so then we have these conversations and we pluck it all out, and then lo and behold, you can do it. Whew. Great. Nice hit, dude. God dang. Awesome. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. You're doing
Oh.
It's okay.
So, I think I know.
So
I think I know what I did.
that's good. And even if you didn't, it wouldn't be a problem. If you don't know what you did, all you have to do is go back to what it is that you want to do.
Uh-huh.
You see what I mean? You don't actually have to know what you did wrong to do better on the next one.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
see what I
makes sense.
mean?
Yeah, I really know.
Right?
Doesn't
So, I mean, sometimes it's helpful to know those
Yeah,
things, right? But
yeah,
you don't
exactly.
actually need to know.
Let's go back to what you're supposed to do.
Just go back to what you're supposed to do. Exactly.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
We'll talk about what's going on here after
Yeah,
this
sure.
next swing. Go ahead and run the whole process again,
Yeah, we'll try that.
and really be mindful of the
Yeah.
setup.
Let me.
The setup looked like it got a little
Rush.
close to the ball again. A little rush and a little close to the ball. So kind of get relaxed into this process. And most likely, you just made a lot of changes. So
Yeah.
whether you realize it or not, your nervous system actually probably wants a little bit of a break.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because you're not physically tired, but
No.
you just made your whole vibe just changed dramatically, and so your nervous system needs to recalibrate. So good job. Take a breath. Exhale. Exhale. If you exhale longer than you inhale, it will naturally relax your nervous system.
something has gone the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's okay. Have a seat. Take a little. So, so one of the truths about the subconscious mind is that patterns appear stronger before they release. So you usually get a transient spike right before it goes away, which is, I don't know, it's kind of crazy way of design, but maybe it's comforting to know that. I guess it could be, depending on how you look at it. And so this whole deal, right, even though it's more relaxed because it's very different, it's stretching your comfort zone. Okay, and so you got a couple things going on here where you're really making adjustments to your process and your posture and all this stuff. And then we're also trying to still really get this club head to lead.
Yeah.
And so your club head just went back to not leading so much on those last two.
Yeah.
And then the rhythm tried to get back to what its homeostasis was. Right? Because it was like, hey, what about this? What about this thing that we used to do, right? And so you just get a little discombobulated. When you're making a big change, that's actually when you want to work the least hard.
Okay.
We learn to grind through those big changes. And you want to do the opposite. When you're making a little change, sure, go ahead and put the pedal down. When you're making a big change, what you want to do is actually, when a student's making a really, really big change, and say they've made, not for a beginner because they don't have any ingrained patterns, but say it's like someone's already shooting the 70s, let's say. And then to move the needle, we have to make a big change, or it's a big concept shift or something. I'll be like, don't play golf this week, please. Don't even hit balls. Just forget what the old thing felt like and spend the whole week noodling in your kitchen with the golf club, thinking about these things.
Mm-hmm.
You want to start to explore these things. That's why I gave you this thing.
Yeah.
Because now you can go, this thing is great. Because this thing is like, obviously you're not going to expect any result.
Right.
Because the club doesn't even face on it.
Yeah.
And it's actually got a training grip.
Yeah.
So you can practice feeling the club. You can practice feeling soft. You can go out there. You can get bare feet in the grass, reground your nervous system. And then remember, the posture, all this stuff is just like that infomercial that I used to like as a kid. Set it and forget it, the rotisserie oven. So once you get set, you have time to then say, okay, I'm set now. I feel good. Club head. Club head. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you're just practicing that without hitting any balls, and you just 3 minutes focused is way better than hitting 100 balls stressed.
Yeah.
Like you just infinitely better. So here you are, taking pretend you're aiming at a tree, eyes face feet. You don't have to do eyes face feet every time. You might get burned out on that. You might be like, you know what? I think I'm good on eyes face feet for a minute. Let me just chill and really feel this club head lead. And there's no trick to it. See what I mean? There's nothing, no magic way to make the club head lead. I mean, there's maybe optimal ways, but there's no magic way. You just got to set that thing in motion,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then the less you press on it, the more your mind and body is going to say, oh, okay, cool, we can do this thing now.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to speed up your learning process, which is why, a lot of people, they come and they're like, Miles, I don't have time to take golf lessons right now. And I'm like, well, hang on a second. You know what I mean? Because I'm not about to advocate for you going to the driving range 4 hours a week to get this. So I recommend using everything we're talking about as like a diversion from what you do. So like say you're grinding on a proposal or you're working in your software program and you're like, you've worked for an hour and a half or 3 hours and it's like, I want to break from this. That's when I would go pick up the golf club, actually, and do this a couple times. Be like, what were we talking about? Get relaxed, do some, swing the club around a little bit and step away from there. Meanwhile, you just got productive at golf as a way to actually get more productive at your work. You did that for 5 minutes. Now you're feeling refreshed. You feel like you just did something good for yourself in your golf game. You put the club back down, and then you're feeling better to go back there.
Mm-hmm.
So I practiced golf that way kind of intuitively my whole life. As my tagline for my 501c3 is going to be called "Golf is my stemming." Kids with their fidget sticks and fidgeters. For me it's the golf club. If I get too stressed or whatever, I'm like I need to just get in here. So don't press on any of these things. It's going to come to you. You already saw some really good results here today to know that you're moving in the right direction.
Right.
And you can feel it even if the screen was off, you would have felt it in the swing.
Mm-hmm.
You would have felt it in the way the ball was getting struck.
Mm-hmm.
See, it makes sense what I'm saying. You don't have any, you get it.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have to manifest fully overnight. If you were to take what you were doing to the golf course, say you had played yesterday, and then you go and you were to hit the ball this way today, you probably would have shot 15 shots lower.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad you didn't play yesterday. I was kind of worried about it, to be honest, because I didn't really have you in a great spot just yet to play.
Yeah, good.
After today, because this eyes, face, feet, and this tension thing would have, without that would have showed up heavily on the golf course. Now this is, you're way more equipped to go play around a golf after this lesson. But I never show a golfer eyes, face, feet in the first lesson because eyes, face, feet ain't going to cause you to swing the club either, right? So you got to learn some basic things about swinging the club, and then when it makes sense, you go into eyes, face, feet, and then it helps complete the story.
Okay.
Which is also why I never sell one golf lesson.
Yeah.
But I also ain't gonna take a million either.
Yeah.
So. I mean, you say you're making
that makes sense.
This is only our so we worked 20 minutes the other night, hour today, so it's really our third lesson.
Yeah.
And so your needle's moving pretty good. Get through this, relax, incorporate these things. Really try to, the one thing with the swing that I want you to just, is your job is to make a double pendulum with the club head leading and get tension out of the arms and body.
Okay.
That's the thing you got to work on in your golf swing. I wouldn't make it any more technical than that right now. From there, we'll see where the rhythm's at. Maybe work on a little rhythm. And then from there, we'll see where any stuck points might be.
We really didn't we touched on rhythm, but we really didn't go into it.
No.
Not ready yet.
No.
Not yet.
Well, exactly. And that's why I said, what we did today is inadvertently going to help your rhythm. It already has.
Right.
You start swinging the club in better rhythm once you went through a better process and relaxed a little more. But, the way that the story unfolds is always subject to weave a little bit depending on what you need at that time. So there's the stuff you need to know, but there's not, it doesn't have to be told in this order for it to work. There's some general things about it that are pretty consistent, but it can weave a little bit.
Okay.
So
always still keep in mind the pendulum, the way the club swings, the pendulum, and then lead with the club head back and just swinging, and then keeping it loose.
Exactly.
No tension, and then your approach and stepping into it. Eyes,
face, feet. EFF. F.
Okay.
Just spell F.
Yeah. Okay.
F. EFF.
EFF. Okay. And then, yeah, that's pretty much, that's it right now.
Actually, I could make it FFF, focus face feet, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a better hook.
Yeah.
You know.
Hmm.
But I don't like focus actually, because it's like it's too narrow.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like just use your eyes first, use the club face second, use the feet next.
So with the heavyweight club, it'll feel things, but just
The
do a
heavyweight,
normal swing to the ground or in the air.
you probably don't want to hit the ground with this
Yeah, I
one.
didn't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think naturally you'll
Little
avoid the ground
hover,
with
yeah.
this. I would just kind of mess around with it. Now, I'll give you one thing that I just saw. So when you said double pendulum, you animated your left hand like this. Let me show you what you just did. Hold your hand up. You were showing me the golf swing this way with your hand. Look at my hand, because I'm trying to whack it.
What?
There you go. Whack the ball. There you go. There. That's
Oh.
so even whatever you do when you're most relaxed is actually what is in your mind.
Oh.
So, yeah, you see, because that think about if I did it this way,
Yeah.
what would that do to the golf club?
Right.
We wouldn't. So remember the one that you actually missed the ball?
Yeah.
You literally did that. You literally did do that.
Wow.
See, it's it. Whatever you do when you're relaxed is in your nervous system. Sometimes I have the best golf lessons when I'm eating lunch with people. I'll just be eating lunch with them, and then they'll be like, "Miles, I'm going to go golf today," and I'm like, "You're going to golf today," right? So if I held the club and just
Yeah.
whatever, that's gonna bam put the face right on the ball. So just all these little things, which is why I say you can literally golf so great because you can literally always be practicing. I practice golf, and if I'm in a long line in the grocery store, I can practice golf. Always feeling something that I want. As long as you're tapped into the primary news source, which is you always have you with you.
Yeah.
My student Jeff's going on a trip this week in Miami, not bringing any clubs. He's like, "Well, I'm not going to be able to practice." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, you are. If you want to, sure. Just move your hands in front of a mirror and tell you a lot." Yeah, there's no trick to it, right?
Yeah.
You're just,
Right.
natural movement of the wrist. That's it.
Not that bad.
Yeah. So that's as technical as I would get with you today.
Okay.
But the moral of the story is that anything that's like not like a natural motion, which none of this stuff that's all very mechanical. It's
Yeah,
not
it is.
natural, right? Like so, that's a good way to. Tension is the enemy, right? So always saying that. So anything that creates tension is not good for golf. I guess if someone wanted to split hairs with me, they could be like, "Well, Miles, the grip has pressure in it." Yes, it has pressure. It has pressure, but there's still no tension in the body. I have pressure in my hands on the clubs so it doesn't lose control, but also, what do people do to relax?
Squeeze.
They squeeze.
Yeah.
So squeezing isn't tension.
Mm-hmm. Huh. But it really has nothing to do with you having to be more pliable or.
Well,
I mean-
so think about that. Okay, if say someone is very, very, very stiff, okay, you get them to relax. Any joint that's relaxed is going to move a hell of a guy that is stiff but naturally stiff, naturally not very flexible, but they are completely relaxed. They're going to move maybe more than a guy that is very flexible and stiff.
Yeah.
Stiffen all your joints, and how much can you move them? Relax all your joints, and how much can you move them? You stick a tranquilizer dart in your shoulder, it would go all the way around.
Yeah.
That's true. But you couldn't do that normally.
Huh.
Right?
Yeah.
So tension is the secret to flexibility, a lack of tension. And then it's like, okay,
So it's not structure.
no,
It's your mind, I guess. Your mind telling your body your thoughts, making you tense up, or it's just a subconscious thing for other reasons.
well, so
It's interesting. Never thought of that.
so the tension is going to either come from, in your case, it was you learned a lot of these things, right? So you think that was you're supposed to have, which is not uncommon. I mean, right? That's one of the three main hurdles is straight arms and stuff. You know what I mean? So, it's hard to find a golfer that hasn't heard that, which is why I wrote the Golfer's Manifesto, because it's like anybody that's saying these things, whether it's just like casually on the range, you just kind of committed a coaching felony against that person. It's like, hey man, don't look up, keep your eye on the ball. They don't mean bad, right? But that's definitely not a helpful thing to say. Keeping your eye on the ball ain't going to swing your club for you. You can't see the ball anyway.
Oh yeah, so moving your head was a big thing.
Okay, so why would you move your head?
Well, yeah, not
move your
yeah,
head.
Or,
Okay.
so then you would create tension to keep it in place. I guess the whole thing was up or down.
If I put 2 panes of cinder block on either side of your head, how relaxed would you be over the ball? If I stuck your head in a cage and said play golf, you'd be like, now what do I do? Which is how they get people feeling. So the secret to keeping a quiet body is in the 100-sum principle. If we can get the club working to 100, the body goes to 0. When the body goes to 0, it's not going to be moving side to side. But if we're not moving this club head because we're stiff in this, then the body's going to be like, well, Chris, you got to move this thing somehow. So then you're going to start to move your body all about to create, in some way, to create power, because your nervous system knows you cannot create power this way. There's no one's flexible or strong enough to create power with straight arms. And then you're going to start moving your body. So at the beginning of our lesson today, your feet were going like this. By the end of our lesson today, your feet were like this. Didn't even think about that. Which is why I'm never coaching people's bodies. The only thing I ever coach about people's bodies is tension is the enemy. Beyond that, I coach the club, and I get bigger changes out of people's bodies and biomechanics than any biomechanical coach there is. Because that's how the club relates to the body. The body is subconscious. It's like, think about it, right? If you want to slow your heart rate down, okay, and you're really anxious, okay, and you're really, really anxious, and you're just like, slow down heart, slow down heart, slow down heart. Is your heart going to slow down? No. If you remove the thought that's causing your anxiety, your heart rate's going to slow down. So the mind has dominion, and the subconscious does what it does.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
So anyway, I told you that whole story so that you're really, every time you want to improve your golf swing, the only 2 trains of thought are tension is the enemy, or what am I doing with the golf club? And that makes it really simple, too. It's streamlined. It's like, okay, it's either something I got to do with my golf club, not fix, something I got to pursue with my golf club, not pursue, that's fixing, something I want to pursue with my golf club, or something I want to chill out in the body. It's pretty much the 2 roads you can go down, which is great.
Yeah.
So it's a simple framework, but it's not diluted. That's not, when I first started teaching, they were like, dumb it down, Miles. Keep it simple, stupid kind of thing. That's not what I'm doing. It's not keep it simple, stupid. It's the powerful truth actually turns out to be simple, but this is what it is.
I mean, so yeah, it's just moving the club in this natural
Double pendulum way. Yeah,
pendulum swing. I mean,
that's it.
basically it.
That's basically it. Yeah, right. I mean, so like if a
If you
student,
take everything else out of the way
correct,
of it,
correct. So that's what I mean. That's why I'm getting golfers to become their own coach. You know, because like after a while, you come in to see me a few times, and I really get your mind wrapped around this framework, and you can start to feel yourself, and you understand the concepts. It's just like what Roland's trying to do. Roland don't want me to see him for personal training. You know what I mean? He wants me to get this thing so that I can fix myself, you know, or work out, you know, be healthy, you know. So now it's like you'll you know, and then one day you'll hit a shot and you'll be like this, you know, you're like, whoa, okay, shoot, I know what's up. I gotta do this, you know. So Mary's never gave me a swing lesson, not one. So I'm every day for 2 years. There's not one time did he tell me what to do with the golf club. He taught me what all the stuff, you know, all the physics and the science and stuff. But then you be the coach, Miles. You know, so I'm like, okay, shoot, what am I doing? You know, how am I not abiding by the laws of physics? You know, and then I've just been coaching myself ever since. You know, and for me, I'm my most challenging student because I got to a high level of play with bad ideas.
yeah,
So that's a longer journey to get back to get for me to become consciously incompetent, which is where, you know, took me a while. You know, so I had to really deconstruct myself and then get back to it. You know, and I still catch myself doing things that I'm like, that's from 20 years ago, you know?
yeah, this is making sense.
Making sense.
Yeah, it does.
Exactly. It's good. It's good. You know, and this is also why I wanted to show you golf, right? Because engaging in this activity is just good for people. It's just good. It's good for everybody in their own way. You know, it's going to show up in your life, in your work, in your affect. It's going to show up in everyone's that I teach, but it always finds its way in, which is, and that's why I'm just so grateful for golf. That's not me. That's golf. That's the nature of golf. You know, it's really cool.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I can think back every time I play in the course and where my mind is, and it's never relaxed. There's always tension, and
Exactly.
you're either you're rushing through it or you're not seeing. You're not.
Correct.
You're not.
It's a less enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
And frustration comes from not knowing how to get yourself back on track. It comes from, man, there's something I need to fix and I don't know why. Frustration is there's like a helplessness about that, you know, and then you get frustrated. The frustration builds as a way to mobilize that helplessness that you feel, because not that you are helpless, right? But if you're not informed about what to do, then you can't get yourself back on track. That's frustration. You know, are you gonna, you know, you could know everything that I know. We could have a direct mind-to-mind transmission. Is that going to cause you to hit every shot perfectly for the rest of your life? Heck no. You know, there's a lot of variables in golf.
Yeah.
You know, the course is challenging. You know, I certainly don't hit every shot perfect, but my students, as they go, they'll hit a shot. They'll be like, "Oh, I remember you. Nice to see you again." You know, let that go and reorient your mind to what you do right. You're not, you're you're not worried about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, for you to accomplish your goals in golf, can you make a double bogey here and there? Yeah. You can shoot in the 70s with 3 double bogeys. You know, theoretically or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. So you want me to practice swinging anything, or just
No, I think
walk away like this and
yeah, I
do
think
it
that
later?
yeah, that's why I just got to talking.
Yeah,
today,
yeah.
Just
I
now,
figured.
right?
I don't think I really need to.
No, I think you're done swinging today. I think I just went on the whole, you know, preacher mode. One, because it's your captive audience right now, and 2, it's helpful, and 3, it's fun for me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I mean, I say this stuff all the time, but it's just, you know, it's just the. I'm so passionate about it because it's like, how many things in life hold true every time, no matter what.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like the teachings like the pendulum physics are that, you know. So it's like, for me, it's like such a reprieve to teach a golf lesson, because it's like, man, like I know it's gonna work. You know.
Uh-huh.
Because it's like, it's tried and true. It is existence.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
that never changes.
It never changes. You know, they're going to engineer a new set of golf clubs next year. Ain't going to change nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
We could go grab my, you know, persimmon driver.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be giving you a different golf lesson with the old Gene Sayers in here.
Yeah.
Hickory Club, you know, and you know, I worked in the pro shops. You know what I mean? And I hear what people say. They're like, you know, the game's changed, the technology's changed,
yeah.
the ergonomy's changed. You know, like,
Yeah.
you know, the agronomy, you're right? You know, it's like, you know, the grass is shorter, blah, blah, that's why, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yes. You know, the greens are faster now. They were slower. You know, so little things have changed. Putters used to be a little more wristy because they were putting on freaking basically the fairway, so they could hit the ball a little harder with their putts. Now, putters are a little less wristy, I guess, because the greens are faster. So, you know, okay, so there's like a little bit, but hickory shaft, steel shaft, graphite shaft, titanium head, wood head, steel head. At the end of the day, it's the same basic thing. You got a mass, you got a shaft, you got a grip. Clubs never not had those 3 things.
Right.
So, the ball's changed. Biggest change in technology is the golf ball. The golf ball's the biggest change. That's you. Woo. All right, that was good session, Chris. I enjoyed it. Thank you for that. I feel better than when you walked in. So that's really good. I appreciate it.